YouTube friends, welcome to Qué Golazo. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel as much more content comes your way. Today, part of our World Cup series, it's just yours truly, LME, as I do a super fast prediction of the entire World Cup tournament in Qatar. Unbelievable. Imagine this as our first mock version number one of what I think will happen at the World Cup. Here we go, Qué Golazo fam. All right, everybody, Qué Golazo in the house. World Cup. We're doing a World Cup series all the way leading up to the tournament. And today, a super fun show. We're going to break down the entire World Cup. I'm going to give you my predictions all the way from the group stages to the final and the winner. Today is the first version, everybody. So, as we get closer to the tournament, as we get closer to the competition, I may change my mind depending on momentum, of course, depending on injuries and who's available, who isn't, on exact, chemistry between squads, and of course, the impending situation of the fact that I always change my mind. But today is mock draft of the entire bracket of the World Cup number one. Before we get into the group stages, we have some business to take care of. There are some intercontinental playoff situations, some nations still waiting to be decided. So today, I will begin that. And by the way, as we go through each scenario, all the way through the competition today, please, I want you to comment and give your own thoughts on what you think will happen. All right, well, let's get to it first. Before we begin, we have to finalize this World Cup scenario. Let's begin in Europe, where Scotland, of course, Wales, and Ukraine are waiting to see who will happen. Wales, of course, we knew beat Austria, so they're waiting for the winner of Scotland and Ukraine. And I'm straight away going to give you this. I believe that Scotland, Bonnie Scotland latte, will take care of it. Here we go, John McGinn. You are going to be facing Wales, and you, Scotland, will win and make that spot. Moving on to the intercontinental playoffs, on the other side, we got some Central and South American competition against, of course, the Asian groups as well. And of course, you should already know, everybody, I'm going to go with Peru. They're going to beat either Australia or United Arab Emirates. Peru will make it into the World Cup. And between Costa Rica and New Zealand, Kiwis, I love you, but I think Keylor Navas deserves one more World Cup appearance. Costa Rica makes it. So it'll be Peru and Costa Rica in the World Cup alongside Bonnie Scotland latte. All right, let's begin the fun, beginning with the groups. Group A, everybody, which obviously, as I need to remind you if I do, it's Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. A very interesting group. Today, remember, I'm not going into a full deep dive. I'm just going to give it to you straight away. I believe that the Netherlands will win the group. They feel revamped, they feel energetic, and second, listen, everybody, the theme for today is me standing up with my South Americans. Yes, Ecuador is the runner-up in Group A. Senegal, you are amazing, but you've had your fun in the sun, winning African Cup of Nations and qualifying to the World Cup. It's Netherlands and Ecuador in Group A, and they go through. Moving on to Group B. Group B, a very interesting group for, of course, our English and American friends. England will win the group, of course. One of the most talented squads since they won it in 1966. They will go through. And yes, USMNT, the gold will be rewarded once again under Greg Berhalter. You will be runner-up in that one. Sorry, Scotland, but reaching the group is all enough. So England and USA, you make it to Group B. Group C, let's go to Group C, Des Norris. Group C is another intriguing matchup. And Argentina, with Lionel Messi under Lionel Scaloni as well, they will win the group. And Mexico, they have a tough time in CONCACAF, but they always get to the knockout stages, at least almost always, and they will do it again in Qatar. Mexico will become runner-up. Argentina and Mexico qualify from Group C. Let's move on to Group D. Group D, another intriguing one. There are no groups of death in this World Cup. All of them are very tough. So let's focus on a very similar group to what it was in 2018 in Russia. And we will have France as the obvious winner. Did you think I was going to stop supporting Peru just for the sake of it? No. Peru will make it out of Group D, not like what happened in 2018. This time around, we will learn our lessons, and France and Peru will make it out. Sorry, Denmark, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And when you have a Peruvian host, that's what's going to happen. All right, let's move on to the next group, another interesting group, Group E, España. They will win this group. They are just too good, too talented, too well managed by Luis Enrique. And yes, Germany, I believe Hansi Flick is a good enough manager to get you out of this group. Spain and Germany make it out of Group E. Costa Rica, this is where it ends for you, and Japan, despite your talent as well. Spain and Germany. And let's move to the next group, Des Norris, as we look at these nations in the World Cup. Belgium, this is it. The end of the golden generation. It's now or never, Belgium. And yes, you will win your group. Morocco, Croatia, very good. But oh, Canada, you will be runner-up of this group. Yes, the absolute fun under John Herdman, this super talented team, will get out of this group as runner-up. Belgium and Canada, you go through. Unbelievable stuff. So far, so good for CONCACAF nations, of course. Let's move to the other group as well. Well, it's no secret of how much I believe in this Brazilian team, and they will win Group G. Switzerland and Serbia are no slouches, but I believe this is the time for the African nations, baby. Cameroon will get out of this group. It's Brazil winning it, Cameroon as runner-up. So I've got 1 and 2, Brazil and Cameroon. And finally, looking at this next group, the conclusion of the group stages as we look ahead, we have Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. Well, I got news for you, everybody. This is the first shocking statement from yours truly. I truly believe Portugal does not get out of here. And you have Ghana and Uruguay out of Group H. Portugal, I don't believe you're enough with Fernando Santos anymore. This is my first shocking statement. Remember, mock draft 1, so I can change my mind. But right now, I am not convinced with Portugal. What do you think? And that's the group stages. So now from there, we move into the real deal, everybody. Let's go to the round of 16. And don't forget, I want your comments. I want your suggestions on what you think. Is LME insane? Somebody wake him up from this insanity. Or do you agree with me? Well, we will see. This is the round of 16, everybody. As we have our beautiful bracket, beautifully designed by our Qué Golazo team, Des Norris, etc. Let's begin from the top left, everybody. Top left in the Group A segment. When you see Group A, let's begin here in the top end. And it's the United States against the Netherlands. We call it the Thomas Rongen Derby. This is a tricky one, a very tricky one. But I believe that the USMNT, as young, as energetic as they are, might just not be enough against the Dutch. And the Dutch go through. Moving along south, oh boy, this is tough. Argentina and Peru, the South American rivals, they already know each other so well. You know how much I love my Peru, but unfortunately in this situation, due to contractual agreements, I have the sanity side of the business side telling me that Argentina will beat Peru. It will not be easy. It will go to penalties. Lionel Messi will be in so much hell against my Peruvians, but Argentina will go through. Moving on, it's Spain against Canada. Unbelievable matchup in that one. I really believe in this Luis Enrique side. I believe they have clicked, and we still have a long time between this youth and experience to gel together under the Spanish side. And I believe Spain will beat Canada. Canada, you are excellent. But just like the USMNT, a little inexperienced. And I think this is where it ends for you. Spain go through. Brazil, Uruguay, another South American matchup. Listen, Uruguay, excellent stuff, but they're not getting any younger. And I believe that in this situation, Brazil, who have one of the best teams anywhere, who didn't lose a single game in qualifiers, will go through. Brazil goes through very quickly on the other side. England, you will take care of Ecuador because your experience and depth overrules anything else. France and Mexico, this is a tricky one, but the French are just too good. Très difícil para los mexicanos, and France will go through. Belgium, you know, I keep saying it's the end for you, but I feel like Roberto Martinez has one more card up his sleeve, and you will beat Germany, a Germany that's still trying to figure itself out under Hansi Flick, especially against tough opposition. An all-African matchup as Ghana face Cameroon. And just when I look at these two matchups, I'm going with Ghana. Yes, that's right. Unbelievable stuff. And so that's your round of 16. Very, very intriguing. Tell me what you think. I have a few South American matchups. I have an African going to the quarterfinals. Tell me what you think. Let's move on to the quarterfinals when it gets really interesting. So now we have the Dutch against Argentina. Wow. The Dutch against Argentina. Well, there's been a lot of love and belief with this Argentinian side. This could be Lionel Messi's last World Cup. He does not want it to end in the quarterfinals. Argentina goes through. Spain against Brazil. What a historic matchup of all proportions. But I have to stick once again with the South Americans. This is a tremendous squad, and I believe they have enough under Coach Chiche, who, by the way, it's his last World Cup, and they'll do enough against Spain. England, France. Wow. England, my second team, against the French, who obviously we know how good they are, but they do have a tendency to sometimes choke, especially since the last World Cup. They are the defending champions of the World Cup, but I believe, are you ready? Yes. Le Bleu, Jonathan Johnson, I am sorry, this is where it ends. England make it through. Belgium against Ghana. Oh, everything about this says, please pick Ghana. Please pick Ghana. But no, amazingly enough, Belgium will keep going, and Belgium will beat Ghana. So now we get into the semi-finals. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and add your comments and tell me what you think about my decisions. Am I insane? Or am I maybe right on the money? Which is usually not the case. All right, let's go to the semi-finals. Now, come on. These are good. Argentina against Brazil, el Super Clásico Sudamericano. This is going to be a tough game. One more time. It was the Copa America final. Obviously, we know what happened as Argentina won, but I believe that this is it for Brazil now. They have too much depth, too much talent, and overall, I think the Brazilians will do enough, and they will make it to the final. It will be goodbye for Lionel Messi and co. Yes, I have said it. And on the other side, England. England, unbelievable. They will be in the semifinals against, of course, Belgium. And I believe England will make it through, meaning that the final is Brazil against England. Can you imagine those pictures of Bobby Moore and Pele, reminiscent, of course, Ronaldinho's lob over David Seaman? So much history, so much potential. This is so tough. Emotionally, it's tough for me. England, my second team, but Brazil, I've always picked them from the very beginning to win this whole thing. They do very well in the World Cup when it's not hosted in Europe. And guess what? Drum roll, please. The winner is the Selecao. Brazil win the World Cup. And I'm going to tell you, it goes all the way to extra time. And just like that, Coach Chiche will get his World Cup. Unbelievable. Now, remember, this is the first version of my mock brackets. We're going to do plenty more. Perhaps we'll invite some guests. Perhaps we'll make it interactive, asking all of you to give me some thoughts on what you think. But as of now, this is what I have. Brazil against England in the final, and against my heart, I have to go with Brazil winning the whole thing. What do you think? Tell me. Once again, LME, you need to find another job because you're so wrong. LME, you're right on the money. Well, we'll see for the next version. Don't forget, we have plenty of World Cup coverage every single week. So watch out for it on Qué Golazo, Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter, youtube.com/Qué Golazo. Listen to Qué Golazo anywhere you can on your podcasts. But please make sure to stay tuned with us because we're giving you World Cup content every single week. That was my first mock draft. I'll see you next time for number 2. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.